Hapina Shenis, second paragraph, page 182. It's seeing the Chochmas Hashem, God's wisdom, God's genius in existence. Simina Chochma nir b'min Adam. You see God's wisdom, he says, manifesting itself in the human species. Asher olam koton. A human being is considered a microcosm of all existence. Everything self-contained in a human being. Asher b'hashlomes sidrei olam v'yofi v'ziyuno utmimuso. He says we find the most perfect context, the order of the world, the beauty, and ziyuno. First as perfection, utmimuso. Elov Romas David Olav Shom V'Omro Hashem Adonenu Ma'ad Shimcha B'Chol Ha'Oretz. Here, when you look at the human being, it says Hashem Adonenu, Hashem our Master. How awesome! He says, majestic is your name in all of the earth. You know, it's interesting. The Gemara says, Gemara Megillah says David that he said eight mizmorim. Thank God. This is already when he was in the womb, after he came out of the womb of his mother. So it says, what's the difference between an animal walks on four? The animal, its udders, when it nurses its young, its udder is near the unclean, this filth over there. A woman, her breasts are on her chest. It's far from her lower extremities. So therefore, that Hashem put the breast, that the sustenance of the child is clean and removed from a location of uncleanliness, disease, bacteria, all that, he gave thanks to Hashem for that, the way the human being is. Okay? Miracle. An animal, you know, I once mentioned to Marnita, Cleopatra, she was like amazed. In terms of, she was amazed about certain things. Usually all had to do with sexual issues. Cleopatra. You know, that a human being that, you know, you have this colorless liquid, fluid, and a child in 9 months develops. You have flesh, and you have bones, and you have sinews, and you have skin, and you have eyes, and you have color, and you have hair. She was amazed at this. But the other thing she was amazed at, which is a miracle, an animal, the fetus lies on the like on the flank of the mother. But a human being, the woman's upright. Based on gravity, the woman should miscarry. The child should fall out of the mother. But yet, the child remains contained within the mother. How's it possible? I mean, such a heavy thing, and it's how, to what degree is it attached? The body retains it until the child is ready to be released. And how is it released? The contractions push the child out. I mean, that's how secure the child is in terms of its development during its gestation period. Amazing. And the Gemara says it's a miracle. Also, the Gemara says that normally if a person would be in, let's say, warm fluid for an extended period of time, what happens to your body? You would dissolve. The human being couldn't tolerate it. Yet, the child is in this warm liquid, fluid, right? And the child comes out fully healthy, right? Its body doesn't deteriorate to any degree. It's able to grow and thrive in this environment. Another human being, you put him in a bath for a few days, the person dies. You cannot survive it. Okay, all these. So the human being, you look at him, Hashem and the Madishim Chol Ha'Oretz, how it's just making a human being. What's the language in Torah? The Torah says, you know, the Yirdu b'Gas Hayam. When Hashem created Adam, he says they will dominate the Gas Hayam, right? The fish in the sea. I mean, does it make sense? A human being in terms of his physical makeup versus any other physical creature. A lion, a tiger, predator animal, birds. Yet the human being controls existence. How do you control? I mean, you're relative to other, you're a speck, but you run this whole world. It's unbelievable. Hashem created a being, a species, that although, physically speaking, it's tiny relative to other things, but yet the human being, he dominates, he dictates all existence. It's like amazing. And it's not, it's a combination. The body, the mind complements with the body. Everything complements everything else. But it's amazing. So you see the majesty of Hashem through the creation of the human being. You know, today you get people get excited with robots. Today they have robots doing a fraction of what a human being does. It's unbelievable. You know? What are they called? The bomb squad goes in to deactivate the bomb. No, it's called something. Sapper. It's called something. I think sappers they're called. You know, instead of having people going, if there's a chance the bomb blows up, they kill the person is killed. They send a robot in now. You know, the robot diffuses. It's amazing now. Now they can have robots doing firefighting. You know, it's amazing. But what about you? Aren't you amazed about the human being? You know, the human being, you're not amazed. David says, Hashem ad moadeh shimcha v'chol. When he saw the human being, even the child, it's amazing. This is what to be impressed about. They can have a robot. They're going to have a robot learning Gemara. They're going to have a robot learning Gemara soon. Okay. They have now schools, right? It's a problem. It's not simple. In New Jersey, right? That, you know, because of the cost of upkeep of schools, with the cost of tuition, they're going to have no teachers. They're going to learn through computers. You know what it's going to look, what the students are going to look like, especially Yiddishkeit-wise. To be taught through a computer rather than a teacher, role model, and the feeling and everything else. It's not going to, the end product's not going to be so great. Hasimin hashlishi simin achoch manir bar Chovos HaOdom v'chibur gufa v'kochos nafsho. You have a composite here, and what's contained within the human being. This is the formation of the human being, the way the body is constructed, and his ability, kochos nafsho. This is faculties of the soul, v'orasechol sheyiched oso bo borei, and the illumination of the intelligence which was designated by the Creator. V'sambo yisron al shar ha'chaim she'enim medabrim. Man has advanced intelligence over any other living species. V'udom al olam godol. This little creature here, being, is the equivalent of what? Of a world unto itself. V'nibshel elu b'sharosh sodosov. Ve'elav romaz iyo v'omro halo kecholov taticheni v'akvina takfieni. You understand? Rabbi Bachי speaks about this. Cheese. What is the process? You have starter, you put it into milk, and it causes a whole chemical process. It begins to coagulate. And then you have cheese. So the Gemara compares that the sperm fertilizes the ovum, and it develops into a child. Without it, it's nothing. It's only the combination of two creates this process, and it evolves to be a human being. So that's what he says. Halo kecholov taticheni. You've poured me out like milk and curdled me like cheese. Oru bosa talbisheni. Skin and flesh, you've cloaked me. Ubat somas agidim tosochecheni. And you've structured me with bones and sinews. Chaim v'chesed osisi modi. Life and kindness you've done with me. Gudoscha shamaruchi. And it was your dictate which preserved my spirit. You know, it's interesting. I mean, you know, we have a Baruch Hashem, we have a podiatrist and a doctor here. I don't want to insult the doctor. Okay? So, it's factually the inner muscles of a person. If you wouldn't have that, the muscles holding the inner organs, the person would die. You have a bone structure. You have a rib cage. This holds the human being couldn't live without it. This is what he means. This is Eov. The word tzroich comes from the word sukkah, even though it's written with a sin. That encloses, that encompasses everything. That holds everything together. If it wouldn't be held together, a human being couldn't live. The Gemara speaks about, in al-Qul, it speaks about a treifa. A person has an injury, and as a result of the injury, his intestines come out of his body. You know, to put back, once the inner organs leave the body, to put them back, it's not so simple. So Gemara speaks about the liver. A person that had a wound and his liver actually came out of the body. The person is considered a treifa. You can't put it back. Except, the Gemara says there was a ness, I forgot who one of the people quotes a posuk, that despite that, he was able to live. But that Hashem performed a miracle. Under normal circumstances, you die. If certain inner organs, once they come out of the body, they cannot be put back. And even if they're put back, it's not the same. The person will die. To see Hashem's genius, you see what a human being is. The human being is more. The human being is when you look at human, it's more than looking at the world. If you understand what a human being is, it's more than the whole world. This is this self-contained species which controls the world. Besides controlled intellect, what about his makeup, his physical makeup? We're talking about his physical makeup. The ocean is the ocean. This is this. So you have a symmetry, you have a balance, okay, but each one is independent. This is all one unit. There's one species, all within one. 100%. Similar. Other than the intelligence, other than the ability. First, an animal is different. An animal is different than a human being. Because a human being, an animal, almost instinctively, from the day it's born, it can almost fend for itself. A human being needs a degree of care, and without that, a human being wouldn't live. So you only develop, and that's why it needs a certain the parentage. The parents have to raise the child and care for the child every physically, emotionally, intellectually, mentally, education-wise, everything. Otherwise, you don't go beyond that point, which is not the case with an animal. That's the difference between an animal and human being, to be continued. You brought all your passengers today? Somebody missing? But it looks very sparse today. Nobody's here. No? Okay. Couldn't live with the guilt. Okay, it's good. Well, do me a favor. Give me a cup of coffee. Thank you. What? He didn't have a ride this morning. Petesky was supposed to come. Yaakov was supposed to come. He probably overslept. Sometimes you kill two birds with one stone. Sometimes you lose two birds without any stone.